We're going to go ahead and get started in mountain pose at the top of our mat with our feet firmly planted into the ground, all four corners of the feet rooting, feeling grounded. We'll bring our hands to center at your heart with your thumbs pressing into the sternum, feeling strength and energy rising from the bottom of your feet, through the hip creases, shoulder bones, base of the neck, and through the top of the skull. On your inhale, let's reach the arms up and overhead, look up, and dive it forward, hinge at the hips for a forward fold. Let the head go, maybe shake yes, shake no. Keeping a slight bend in the knees to lengthen the spine, really feel length through each vertebrae in your back. Inhale to feel length in the spine and exhale to fold a bit deeper. On your next inhale, we're going to straighten the spine for a halfway lift and exhale, fold, let it go, shaking the head yes and no. One more inhale, half lift, and exhale to fold. On your next exhale, slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing the hands to the top overhead. Look up. And exhale, easily dive it forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, straighten the spine. And exhale to fold. On your next inhale, step back, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out the feet. Bring a deep bend into the knees if that feels good. On your next inhale, roll forward to plank pose, shoulders over wrists. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, shoulders over wrists, strong core. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Last one, inhale the plank pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Really press out of the four corners of the hands here in your downward dog and feel length in your spine. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk your hands back to your feet, forward fold at the back of the mat. Maybe bringing a deep bend into the knees. And on your next inhale, go ahead and rise up vertebrae by vertebrae, hands overhead, look up. And dive forward, forward fold. Feel the base of your spine lengthening, the muscles in your neck letting go, making space in between your teeth, jaw slack, maybe roof of the mouth and tongue separate. On your next inhale, go ahead and rise up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, arms overhead, look up. And exhale back to forward fold. Warming up the body here, warming up the spine, the hamstrings, creating space for movement and flow. Let's meet in a downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank, and let's do a knees, chest, chin, lower down to the ground. Press up into a baby cobra, pulling your shoulders together in the back. And exhale back to downward facing dog through tabletop. Right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Keeping the hips square to the ground. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, three-legged dog. And lightly step your foot in between your hands for a low lunge. Go ahead and drop the back knee, raise the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Inhale to feel space in your hip flexors, opening the chest, arms rise. Go ahead and look up, opening the throat, feeling light, waking up the body. Float the arms back down, lift the back leg. Left arm is planted, right arm goes up for a twisted lunge. Inhale here to find strength through the legs and length through the arms. Exhale the arms down and walk yourself into a wide-legged forward fold, the side of your mat. Let the head hang, maybe shake yes, shake no, finding length in the lower back, stretching in the back of the hamstrings. Maybe grabbing the ankles with your hands, feeling length in the back of your neck, in your jaw, in between your eyebrows, making space. On your next breath, go ahead and place your hands on your hips and rise up, standing up straight. And turn the right toes to the front. We'll meet in a warrior two pose. Go ahead and exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose, right arm to right thigh, left arm over the ear. Let's inhale up, warrior two pose. Exhale, peace, bring it back, side stretch. And side angle pose one last time, feeling a deep stretch in the side body. Let's meet in warrior two, straighten the front leg, turn the toes to the side of your mat, and prasarita forward fold. Maybe clasping the arms behind your back, feeling strength in the shoulders, feeling all four corners of the feet grounding into the earth. On your next breath, come up, pressing the feet down, lifting the shoulders up to the ears and relaxing them down to the back. Right foot points to the top of the mat for warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down and move through a flow, either knees, chest, chin, chaturanga to up dog, chaturanga to cobra, and back to downward facing dog. Notice how your down dog is different here than when it was at the start of the class. Just letting the body relax into the stretches as opposed to forcing anything. Let's lift the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, shoulders over wrist. Exhale, three-legged dog. And shoulders over wrist. Slightly step the foot through for a low lunge. Go ahead and drop the back knee, lift the arms up, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Keep the face soft, the jaw soft. Breathing into the hips and the front of the body. Maybe looking up, opening the throat. Exhale, fingertips to back down to the floor, lift up the back knee. Right arm stays down, left arm lifts up for a low lunge twist. Opening the front of the chest. Strength shooting out the back heel. Feeling strength all through the front quadricep. Release the left hand to the floor. Go ahead and crawl to the side of your mat for Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold once again. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to fold. Reversing the blood flow to our head, creating space between each vertebrae of the neck here. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale to stand. Warrior two on the other side. We're going to twist our left foot forward. Keep the lower body heavy as you reverse your warrior. Inhale back, warrior two. And exhale, side angle pose. We're going to take that again. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, side angle pose. Left arm to left knee, right arm reaching, feeling space in the side of your body. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, side angle pose. Finding your flow and your rhythm here, finding strength in the legs and the core. Pause in warrior two. Go ahead and parallel the feet, side of the mat, Prasarita. Go ahead and reach the right arm overhead, bend at the elbow so the right arm is at the base of the neck. Take the left arm, go ahead and reach it out to the side and wrap around behind your back so that the hands touch for shoulder opener. Stay here or add a forward fold for a little extra strength and movement. Feel opening in the armpit area, the triceps and the shoulder muscles. And just let the body open. Moving stagnant energy from places that maybe don't receive a lot of movement all the time. Opening our shoulders where we tend to hunch and gather a lot of tension. On your next breath, go ahead and rise up. Release the arms. Place the arms at your side, shoulders to ears. Relax them down your back. And we'll go ahead and switch sides. So left arm up. Go ahead and left hand reaching towards the base of the skull. Right arm, let's place it out to the right of us and wrap around to go ahead and maybe grab or come close to grabbing the left hand. Again, stay here, or if it's available to you, go ahead and forward fold over the front of your legs. Let the body relax here. On your inhale, feel the stretch deeper, and exhale, relax and let the body take control and let the yoga do its work. Carefully press through the feet. Come up, straight spine, release the hands. Go ahead and shrug the shoulders up, relax them down your back, maybe a few times, whatever feels good to you, maybe rolling out the neck. And we'll turn the left foot forward for warrior two. Exhale, hands down to frame the front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank pose, shoulders over wrist. Chaturanga, lower halfway down. Inhale for up dog, opening the front of the body, opening the heart. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Look forward in between your hands, bend the knees deeply. Go ahead and hop up onto the toes, jump, step, or float in between your hands for a forward fold at the front of your mat. On your next inhale, sink the hips, float the arms up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Keeping the knees directly over the ankles, shifting the hips back, rocking the weight into the heels and feeling strength through the back. This seesaw pose creates strength and balance. Inhale one more time. Exhale, forward fold over the front of the legs. Inhale to half lift, straighten the spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Step or float back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Take 3 deep, full breaths here. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And let everything out. Go ahead and raise the right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Exhale, 3-legged dog, right knee, left elbow. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring your knee to your left elbow, extending the foot and opening the chest for fallen triangle pose. Keep the legs active and the arms strong. Go ahead and swing the arm back to a 3-legged dog, and step the right foot close to the right hand for a low lunge. Turn your toes to the side of the mat for Prasarita forward fold once more. Go ahead and bend the knees, point the toes out and the heels in. We'll come up into goddess pose, so sinking to a squat. Arms in a cactus shape here. Inhale for strength in the legs, find rooting through the feet. Exhale to sink a bit deeper in the hips. On your next exhale, dive it forward, let the legs go straight. Inhale for a halfway lift. And come all the way up. Right foot goes forward for warrior 2 to the front of the mat. We're going to go right into side angle pose. So right arm on right knee, left arm comes overhead. Feel a deep stretch in the side body, energy moving through the bottom of the foot all the way through the top of the fingers in a diagonal line. We're going to move into half moon, so bring the left hand to the left hip, look down at your feet, and float the back leg up. Right arm stays on a block or on the mat. Feel your core and your legs strong and stable, and feel energy coming through the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes, energy moving all 4 directions here for half moon. Breathe into the balance and breathe into the strength. Go ahead and bring both of your hands into the front foot and step it back, downward facing dog. We'll move through a vinyasa. Go ahead and roll forward to plank pose, chaturanga, through upward facing dog and meeting back in a down dog. Pause for a few moments to catch your breath, reconnect with the ground. Left leg rises. Go ahead and bend the knee and open the hip. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Three-legged dog. Left knee, left elbow. Find strength in the core. Three-legged dog. Left knee, right elbow for a twist. Three-legged dog. Inhale to find strength here. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Extend the leg for fallen triangle pose. Lifting the right arm up, opening the chest, expanding through all four limbs. Finding strength and length throughout the body. Release the right hand down. We'll meet you in a three-legged dog. Go ahead and step the left foot in between the hands, low lunge. Turn to face the right side of your mat for Prasarita. Toes out, bend the knees, drop the hips. We're going to meet back in goddess pose. So go ahead and sink the hips low, arms in a cactus pose here. Feel the spine straight, strengthen the legs and the glutes. And energy shooting up through the crown of the head, through the feet. All muscles working here to keep your body upright. Inhale for strength, exhale to stay. Go ahead and place your hands on your hips and dive it forward, forward fold. Inhale to come up, straight spine. And left foot forward for warrior two. Arms stretch out, gaze over the left arm. Go ahead and rest the left elbow very lightly on the left knee and reach the right arm up and over the ear for full side body stretch here. Moving energy from foot to arm. Breathe in to find strength and exhale to relax into the pose. Step up on the back, the right leg lifts into half moon pose. Using a block or the floor to support you. Right leg is strong, left leg is strong, and upper body is working to keep you supported here. Feeling energy through all four corners of the body. Inhale for strength, exhale for balance, and settling into the pose. Go ahead and bring your arms in front of your foot and step it back to a downward facing dog. Go ahead and move through a flow here. So ripple forward into a plank pose, shoulders over wrists. Lower halfway down, chaturanga, into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, go ahead and bend your knees deeply and walk the hands back for a forward fold at the back of your mat. On your inhale, go ahead and imagine a warm light going from the bottom of your skull all the way to the tailbone, slowly vertebrae by vertebrae. And exhale, feel that light come all the way from tailbone to the top of the head, maybe through the eyes, in between the eyebrows. On your next inhale, we're going to roll up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Arms overhead, look up. Go ahead and grab the left wrist with the right hand and tip over to your right. Hips move to the left for a side stretch. Inhale, exhale. Go ahead and move through center, switch wrists and tip over to the left side. Hips go to the right. Inhale, exhale for strength. Release the grip and come back through center, maybe taking a slight back bend and diving it forward with knees bent, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's try that light breath up and down our spine one more time. So on your inhale, feel your breath move from the base of your skull all the way through your tailbone, in between each vertebrae, moving through your spinal cord and the muscles that support your back and spine. And on the exhale, imagine the light moving from your tailbone through each part of your back, through the skull, maybe the crown of the head, maybe through your eyes or your third eye in between the eyebrows. On your next inhale, halfway lift, use those muscles to hold yourself straight. Exhale, fold. And go ahead and walk your hands forward into a downward facing dog. Ripple forward into plank pose, move through a flow, chaturanga, up dog to down dog. Feel strength in the shoulders, pressing out of all four corners of the hands, breathing deeply into the spine, feeling the space between your eyebrows melt, your teeth moving away from each other. Go ahead and lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip, and tip the right foot over for wild thing. Heart opener, feeling vulnerable. This is a strong pose. Go ahead and release back to downward facing dog and keep the right leg lifted. And move through a one-legged flow if that's available to you. So chaturanga with the leg lifted, toes meet on the ground for up dog, and pressing back into the downward facing dog. Left leg raises, three-legged dog. Go ahead and bend the knee, open up the hip. Flip over for wild thing, opening the heart, chest, throat, pelvic muscles. And exhale, come back. Left leg rises for a three-legged dog. And go ahead and move through a three-legged flow or skip it. Up dog, opening the front of the body. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and place the knees wide on the mat with the toes touching behind you for a wide child's pose here to rest. Catch your breath and reconnect with your mat. Either with the arms out in front of you, maybe a hidden prayer, hands clasped behind the skull, stretching out the triceps. Inhale to feel that light moving up, back, and up and down your spine. Exhale, let it go onto the mat through your third eye, feeling grounded and rooted. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. Move through a tabletop and meet back in a downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. We're going to move into pigeon pose. So right knee to right wrist, left foot as close to left wrist as possible, keeping the foot flexed to protect the back, untucking the back toes. Go ahead and inhale to lengthen the spine. Use your arms to prop you up. And exhale, dive forward into a sleeping pigeon pose with your arms extended in front of you. If this is too much, go ahead and bring a block underneath your hip or underneath your head to bring the ground closer to you. And notice if your body is telling you to move or jump out of the pose. Try to relax into those feelings and just notice, knowing that you're in control of your body and your thoughts. and everything passes. Breathe into the hips. And any emotions that come up, don't ignore them. Go ahead and notice, but then let them go. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk yourself back using your arms. Spine lifts up. And bring that left leg around. We're going to move into full pigeon. So stacking knee over ankles, ankles over knees. Maybe moving the flesh underneath your sits bones. Keeping the feet flexed to protect the knee. Maybe tenting the fingers behind to lift and open the heart and throat. And then, if available to you, go ahead and dive forward for a deep hip opening stretch. Keep the hips rooted into the ground, the ankles and the knees rooted into the ground. And again, just notice. Let the body open on its own. No action needed here, just release. Go ahead and walk yourself back up. And twist the legs so knees are stacked over one another for an even deeper hip opening here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, twist to the left with the right knee coming over the right arm, coming over the left knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And exhale, maybe twist a little bit deeper here. Soften the face. Feel the breath moving through the tight spaces. Notice if you're holding anywhere, let that go. Carefully unwind, bringing your arms at the hips, unwinding the legs, and meeting in a downward facing dog. Taking any movements here and noticing how the sides feel different. Maybe walking the legs out, shaking the head yes and no, really letting that go. Left leg rises, left knee, left elbow, right ankle, right wrist, untucking the back toes. Hands next to hips to lengthen the spine, maybe look up, settling into this pose, and on your exhale, diving it forward, pigeon pose. Noticing if any emotions come up, letting those go. Noticing if your body wants to move or wiggle, try and breathe through those impulses. As long as there's no pain, you're releasing through the muscles, opening and moving energy through the body in this pose. Inhale into the hip creases. Exhale, breathing it out through the mat. Surrendering and noticing. Nothing needs to be done here. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk the hands back to the hips. Preparing for double pigeon, go ahead and swing that right leg through, stacking knee over ankle, keeping the feet flexed. Maybe placing a block or a blanket in between if there's space in between the feet and the knees. Whatever feels good for you. If this is too much, you can sit in a cross-legged pose here. Same idea of opening up the back hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and if available, go ahead and melt over the legs a bit for a deep low back stretch, releasing through the hips, the legs, the shoulders. Again, noticing if you're holding any tension in between the eyebrows or in the jaw, go ahead and let go. Slowly bring yourself back to sitting if you've bent over. Lengthen the spine and stack the right knee over the left. Inhale for length through the spine. And exhale to twist to the right. Don't force anything here. Keep this an easy, simple twist. Wringing out the spine and moving energy through some stagnant parts of your body. Maybe turning the neck over the right shoulder if that's available to you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Carefully unwind and release, coming back to center and meeting back in downward facing dog. Shake anything out, maybe bend the knees, shake out the legs, shake out the arms, shake the head yes and no. This is our last down dog, so feel strength rooting through the palms of your hands, energy through the backs of the legs. Go ahead, move forward to plank. We'll move through a flow, chaturanga, upward facing dog, strength through the front of the body, and exhale back to down dog. Bringing the knees down to the floor, we'll meet in a hero's pose. Go ahead and lift up onto your knees. We're going to move into a camel pose here. So feel the knees rooting through the ground and the thighs strong all the way through the spine, through the crown of the head. And go ahead and place your hands on your back, like they're in your back pocket, supporting the low back. We're going to go ahead and start peeling back. If it's available to you, you can move your hands to the ankles or the heels. But for most of us, here is just fine. Keeping the hips forward and the upper spine arched back for camel. Feel if the breath gets tight or short in the chest in this pose. Just breathe as deeply as you can and notice. Go ahead and inhale, slowly tuck the chin to the chest, come back up, and sit back on your heels. Fold forward for a child's pose with your arms at your side this time. This is a good counter pose for camel, giving our back a rest, creating flexibility in the spine. And go ahead and rise up, and we'll go ahead and swing our legs forward to sit on our butt and have the feet touch in front of us for Supta Vada Konasana, forward fold over butterfly legs. Go ahead and drop the head, and we'll move through that light breath. Inhaling, feeling the breath move from the base of the skull all the way through the tailbone. And exhale from the tailbone all the way through the top of the crown of the head, into the mat, into the ground, maybe out of the eyes. Inhale, light moves to the tailbone. Exhale, light moves all the way through your spine, through your body, out the crown of your head. Take that one more time on your own. Go ahead and walk yourself back. Plant the feet hip distance apart. Reach the arms forward. Slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll down onto your back. The knees hip width distance apart. You're going to move into a bridge pose, so go ahead and press through the feet, through the arms, lift the hips towards the sky for bridge. Tucking the chin, maybe interlacing the hands underneath. Feel strength rooting through the bottoms of your feet, through the tops of your thighs, and all the way through the spinal muscles. On your next breath, slowly release the bridge. Upper back, middle back, lower back comes to the ground. Go ahead and bring your legs to the outer edges of the mat and the knees touch on the inside to release the psoas muscle. Go ahead and windshield wiper your legs back and forth if that feels good to you. Let's go ahead and plant our feet underneath hips again. We'll move into another bridge pose. If you've had enough, you can move into a restorative bridge with the block directly underneath the sacrum. Or if you're feeling it, you can move into a full wheel pose. So for full wheel, you're going to plant the hands directly next to the ears, tuck the chin, and go ahead and lift up, full body stretch, full wheel. If you're in bridge pose, feeling strength in the legs and maybe clasping the arms underneath. And if you're in restorative pose, letting the hips sink into the block and the blood flow reverse. When you're ready to come out, go ahead and tuck your chin, roll down. vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you're all the way down, go ahead and bring the knees to the chest, giving yourself a hug for rest. Maybe circling the hips, giving the massage to the low back. Soaking in the benefits of all these poses, back bends and forward bends we've been moving through in this practice. Come back through center and keep your right knee hugged in close to your chest. Left leg extends. Breathing into the hips, into the space created. And then go ahead and tip the right knee over to the side for a reclined twist. Keeping your right shoulder on the mat, maybe gazing over the right hand. Feeling the whole length of your spine twisting. Take one last full breath and bring your knees back into center. Extending the right leg, hugging the left knee in towards the chest. Feel the entire back from shoulders to low back on the mat. And when you're ready, go ahead and tip the left knee over to the right. Left arm extends, maybe gazing over for a spinal twist. Feel heavy, sink into the mat. And though this is not an active pose, know that the movement and stretching of your bones and muscles and the practice of yoga is working. And we'll bring our knees back into center. Hug both knees into the chest. Maybe moving into a happy baby, bringing the knees towards the armpits, grabbing the ankles, outside of the ankles, maybe rocking from side to side, extending one leg, extending the other. Keep the face soft. Feel your spine on the mat, back of head on the mat. Take a few more deep breaths here. One last active deep breath in, and on your next exhale, go ahead and extend into your Shavasana pose. Legs extend, arms lay next to your side, feet flop out. Total surrender here. Feel the entire weight of your body sinking into the mat. Feel the bones heavy, muscles heavy. Let's take one deep inhale together. And exhale, let it out, sink into your Shavasana pose. Let go of any tension or gripping or any need to do anything. Nothing else needs to be done here. If any emotions or thoughts come up or judgments, just notice and let them go and soak the benefits of your movement and your practice in this final resting pose. Beginning to deepen the breath. Bringing small movements to your fingers and your toes. Maybe turning the head to the left, to the right. Maybe moving your face around, scrunching up the eyes, letting that go. Bringing the body back into the physical space. When you're ready, slowly, carefully bringing the knees into the chest. And tipping over to your right side for a fetal position, maybe cradling the head with the arms. When you're ready, moving into a comfortable seat. Maybe crossing the legs. Let's bring your hands to heart center, feeling the thumbs press against the sternum, feeling whole and connected in our body. Let's take 3 collective breaths together to close the practice. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale deep. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Bow the chin to the chest. Thanking yourself for your practice and showing up.